Hey friends, welcome. Happy Friday. It's great to be back with you today. Today we're going to share some of my top tips on how you can create these beautiful, elegant florals using the Summer's Garden collection. Now, I don't know about you, but this features the beautiful zinnia and it can be created in so many different ways. Today we're using the vellum, which gives it such an elegant, such a subtle, beautiful look on a card that is super simple to create. Before we get started, I just wanted to show you some more samples. You can also make this a really dimensional 3D flower that you can give or hand give as a project. So as you're joining me, let me know where you're watching from. Introduce yourselves. Don't be shy. Let's have some fun being inspired how you can easily and quickly use your vellum to create these beautiful one-of-a-kind florals. So to get started, what you're going to want to do is take your small garden zinnia. There's a large and small. You can choose the size you like. Stamp it with your white ink and heat emboss it with white embossing powder. Die cut that out. If you have issues with your embossing powder crumbling off, let us know in the comments and we will link the white ink and white embossing powder that I used for this today, and that's a great combination to make sure that it sticks very well and works well for you. So to get started, after you have stamped, die cut, and then heat emboss this, you're going to want to color it. Now when you color, you can do this on the front of vellum or the back of the vellum. Either way works. However, if you do it on the front of the vellum where it's stamped, that will give you more of a brighter look. On the back will give you a more subtle look. So we're going to go ahead and use Vibrant Fuchsia, and we're just going to quickly color on the front. And what I love about this is it's a great quick color application, and it still looks like you spent a lot of time with this. So tell me what you've been up to. I know we're going into the July 4th holiday here in the US. Are you doing something fun with your family? I know for us it's always fun to just do some things outside and just hang out with friends and family and just have a great time. The second color that I'm going into to kind of get an ombre color effect is the Bright Tangelo. I am using archival ink, which is an ink that dries very quickly. So we're just going to go around the edges and add that Bright Tangelo to the tip. It just gives it that really beautiful pop of color. This really reminds me of like a sherbet ice cream. I don't know why that just popped in my brain, but it did. So hey, we'll go with it. Do you, you probably have that happen to you as well when you're creating. You have things pop up that something reminds you of. And I don't know about you, but when you're creating, it really gives you that, it just relaxes you and just has so much fun. It's just a great time blending those colors together. So simple, so easy to do, and it still looks like you spend a lot of time with it. Now, as you are watching, leave your comments. Let me know what you like about this. And when you like, comment, and share, you'll be entered to win this card. Make sure you do that by midnight Eastern Standard Time tonight, and one of you will be the recipient of this. And if you're watching and you don't have the Garden Zinnia yet, we have this on a special savings where you save 10%, so you can save 10% individually, or we also have some bundles, and you can pair that with your insider membership savings of 20% as well. So if you don't have that yet, make sure to get it. Now's the time to grab it while it is on that special savings. So we're going to go ahead and run this through the shaping mold. First, I want you to see how that does. I will not spray this, and vellum is a little bit finicky going through a shaping mold. So we're going to put this through, and I'll show you how it looks when it comes out. Depending on what machine you have, just experiment with it, see if you like it going through the shaping mold. It does add quite a lot of pressure, and it can do a little bit more cracking with your flower. So you can experiment and see what you like with yours. So that one I'm going to run through the shaping mold, and then I'll also show you another technique that you can do with it if you like. Totally up to you. So we're going to go ahead, bring this out. A lot of people will ask me if I spray my vellum. I do not. I just run it through just like it is, and you have this beautiful dimensional flower that is ready to be put together. You do not have to go back and do anything else if you don't want to. However, if you wanted to add a little bit more of a shape to it, you could use your golf tools and just go around the edge and do a little bit more of a press technique, and it just wraps around that. So that's totally optional. You can do both ways. This flower, all I did was just run it through my shaping mold, and it's good to go. Before we put these two together, I did want to show you a technique that I do with the stamens that go into the center of the flower. These come from our bridal stamen pack. And all I'm going to do to add color to this is lay it onto my bright Tangelo ink pad. And we're going to add some color by just sponging over the top so it has kind of this nice orange center. So that's a great, quick and easy way that you can add color to your bridal stamens. So if you've been on the fence, haven't tried out stamens yet, the bridal pack is a great one to try out. It has all whites in different shapes and sizes. Some have glitter, some have more of a pearlized texture, and then you can color them whatever color you like. I did use a wire stamen and just bent that over the center. Then that gives you that needle and thread effect so that you can pull that through your flower center. So before we pull that through, we do need to make some holes. We'll bring up our mat and just pop a nice hole right in the center. And we'll do that on both of these, and then we'll go ahead and add our little stamens. So tell me what you're loving about what you're learning. Let me know, have you used vellum before, or are you one of my crafting friends that gets a little bit scared to use vellum, or maybe you've tried it, maybe the embossing powder flaked off. If you have embossing powder that flakes off, chances are you are using the Versamark ink, and I find that that does not stick as well to vellum. So just make sure that you're using a high quality white pigment ink that we can add in the comments below if you don't have that, and you'll be on your way to making some beautiful stamped images on vellum. So we're going to go ahead and just pull that through lightly, and before it goes all the way together, I'm just going to go ahead, grab my hot glue, and we'll pop some hot glue underneath. You'll just want to be a little bit careful because when you have hot glue on vellum, it can hit your fingers a little bit easier, so just be careful when you're doing this at home. We've all had that happen where the hot glue hits our fingers and we yell. The cat, dog, and everybody else around us jumps, right? Okay, so that hit my fingers just a little bit. Just pull that up and you are good to go. So easy peasy, you can make those flowers very quickly and beautifully without doing much to it. So have some fun just making these flowers in color combinations that you use a lot, and then you can quickly and easily add these to cards. Now, speaking of card bases, I like to have some simple, easy card bases that I can really easily use at a moment's notice. So using a card base like this, you can easily add a sentiment of choice after you know who you're going to be giving it to. Now, I did add some flowers from the collection we launched in January. If you don't know or don't have those flowers, let us know. We'll link those for you, but there's a beautiful collection of flowers that I just bunched together for the smaller ones on this card, and I've also done a previous video on how to do those, so if you need to see that, just let us know and we'll link that video for you. So to create the card base, I chose one of my favorite papers on a 5x7 card and use this beautiful decorative die. If you don't have that one yet, let us know in the comments, we'll link it for you. Stamp the sentiment, and then you're ready to 3D this on top. This is a really great way to make a beautiful background card base, and then just add your flower layers on top, and you have a very beautiful, easy card that you can also use for mailing. If you're going to mail it, just use less in the flower centers, maybe some frills or something like that, and you are good to go. Vellum flattens very beautifully for mailing. So we're going to go ahead and layer these down. I did forget to color this leaf. These leaves I colored in olive. So we'll just do that on the front again. Just go ahead and do that over the entire leaf. It looks like my sponge dauber has a little bit of a blue teal color to it. So my leaf is a little bit different color, which is actually, it's kind of cool. It matches the paper background. That was kind of a happy accident. It was supposed to be more olivey, but that's what I love about creativity, is you have some happy accidents. Now, with this one, we do have the shaping mold that shapes the leaves, so you don't have to shape it by hand like I just did. But we're gonna go ahead and add our first flower on, and then we'll add our second one. I always like to position my first flower and then go back and add that second one. So the largest flowers are going on. I'll just pop this one, just kind of squeeze it right up to the one that we just did, and those petals can kind of just be pushed up. And then you can go back and add those last leaves in the side there. If you want to have the leaves hanging off the side, you can. If you don't want to, you can always position it so it does not hang off the side of your card. So we're just going to go ahead and add these 2 zinnia leaves. Now, these zinnias are so pretty. They came out with the Summer's Garden collection. If you missed those when they launched, or you've been eyeing them, haven't gotten them yet, we have a special savings on them where you save 10%, plus you can also add your insider discount will also apply to that. Make sure you take advantage of that before that savings ends. So we're going to go ahead and just add some leaves. This is our leafy accents. Absolutely love these. These are an essential that I use for so many of my cards. The design team does as well. If you don't have these yet and you kind of have been the gal that buys all the flowers but you don't have great leaves, the leafy accents are a perfect leaf to go with so many of the flowers that you might already have. So you can go ahead and kind of pull this apart. I'm going to pull it apart a little bit more down here, and we'll kind of add that in this section, and then just continue to add our flowers. So super fun, super easy card to create. The layout is super simple, yet it still looks stunning. You have that wow factor, and your friends still think you spent a lot of time creating it. So if you are like me, you love those really classic designs with vellum, try creating something similar to this. Have some fun with it. I know that using this in different color combinations with different backgrounds, you'll get so many different looks using the same concept and same idea. So if you've been stuck in your creativity and you haven't really known where to get started, or maybe you haven't created in a while, this is a great one to just get back into your craft room and start creating. And I know for many of us, it's pretty hot outside, so it's a great time to spend some time in your craft room where it's nice and cool. But before I wrap this up, I wanted to show you a glittering technique. Some of you may have seen this before, but you can go back onto your card after those flowers are on, and you can add your glitter. I'm using the crystal clear. This is a really beautiful, it's kind of has a really nice chunky texture. And it's what I use on top of a lot of my flowers. So what you're going to do is go back and just put some glue onto your sponge dauber. My glue's being a little bit fussy right now. It's a little bit stuck. Needs to get unstuck. There we go. Okay. Just put a nice dollop of glue, and then just sponge over those areas that you want to have some glitter on. And I just do this very quickly. You don't spend a lot of time with it. And it has this elegant, beautiful look. You can also sponge it on your background papers, which is really pretty. So then you'll sprinkle your glitter over the top. If you do it on background papers, make sure you don't add too much glue so it doesn't look kind of splotchy. If that's a word. Is that a word? You can tell me in the comments. Do you use the word splotchy, blotchy? Okay, there we go. I hope you can see that glitter. So just like that, simple, super easy. Just pick out some leaves that you have. If you don't have the classic leaves, those are a great add-on. If you don't have the garden zinnia, we have those in large and small. And those come in a combination of the stamp die and the mold. You can buy them individually, or we also have a Creative Essentials. But today you save that 10% off. That ends on Sunday, or while supplies last. So make sure you take advantage of that. And as you're watching, when you comment, like, and share by midnight Eastern Standard Time tonight, you'll be entered to win this beautiful one-of-a-kind card. So I can't wait to see who will get this one. Thank you so much for joining me today. And hey, if you're not one of our insider members yet, I highly recommend becoming one. You can access our insider membership for $12.99 a month. Saves you 20% on all your orders, on top of the 10% savings we're having right now on these zinnias. Plus, you get free shipping if you're in the US, and you have access to all of our online classes. We have over 40-something classes. They're all at, they're valued at $30, and they're all 2 hours in length, which is like an amazing classroom vault of all things crafty. Thank you so much for joining me today. We'll see you next time. Bye.